Hey guys, this is Rich. We're here at the Ubisoft booth to check out ZombiU, and I'm here with Gabrielle and that guy. And we're gonna take a look at the game. So Gabrielle, what are we gonna see, and give us a general idea of ZombiU?
Well, we're going to see a world-exclusive demo of the entire ZombiU demo here at E3. So we're going to walk you through the game concept, which revolves around the apocalypse, the end of the year 2012.
Okay.
And ZombiU was built exclusively for the Wii U gamepad.
Okay.
So absolutely everything you're going to see is designed to knock your socks off, and basically we want you to fall out of your chair with fright.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, let's take a look.
We're going to start here in Buckingham Palace. The game takes place in London, 2012, and as you know, it's the end of the world for a lot of cultures. And
so what do we got going on here? We're actually looking at the gamepad. What is he doing here?
So Joe is using one of the features of the gamepad is the environmental scanner. And since in all survival horror games, of course, supplies and bullets are going to be few and far between, you really got to take your time and scan the environment, decide whether something's worth dying for. And all of this is done in real time, so he is not out of danger. He can be attacked at any moment.
Okay.
Sort of like in all the zombie movies we're used to seeing, where the guy's looking for his keys in his bag and the horde is coming after him. So it makes for a really, really scary and intense gameplay experience. And
that's great.
That's one of the real, that's what the gamepad brings to it.
Now, so he's looking at his supplies. I saw a zombie on the horizon, but one of the things that popped up right at the beginning of this was one bite will kill you. Is that like literally correct? Like one bite will kill you?
Absolutely. It's the heart of this truly gamer concept. It's how long will you survive. So you only get to play each survivor once, which means that when Joe dies, he becomes one of the infected. And then he has to go back and get his gear on his former survivor.
It's kind of harsh.
It's made for that. There are no checkpoints and no game overs in this game. It's a really unique narrative concept that's perfectly fitted with the tropes of zombie fiction. You know, in most of zombie fiction, there are not that many heroes. Pretty much everyone is bound to die.
And I think we're used to, I mean, at least with some of the other zombie franchises out there, we're used to seeing stuff that's a little more fast-paced with a lot of, you know, just giant monsters and very, you know, kind of crazy high-stakes action. You guys seem to be going for something a little more slower, a little creepier. Is that about right?
We are back to the foundations of survival horror, there's no doubt. We got to take it slow, and the whole idea is you need to be prepared. There's a voice that you hear in the darkness who guides you through this horrible hellscape, and he's the prepper. That's a survivalist term for guys that basically are preparing for the end of the world.
Okay.
And so he's going to walk you through it, and yes, you're going to need to crawl sometimes if you really want to live.
Looks like Joe's getting a little trouble here.
Excellent. So we're going to take you now into the nursery, and it's been really fun here at E3 because we've had a competition, and the idea is that we wanted to challenge everyone to see how long they would survive with one of their survivors.
Gotcha.
And so in the first part, we were able to get used to the new features, see the environmental scanner, also use the crossbow and the scope. That's another one of the utilizations. And then we sort of set everyone free with the challenge of seeing if they could make it out of the nursery alive.
Great.
And so Joe's going to take us through the nursery, which is, of course, a traditional horror environment.
So let's talk a little bit about the gamepad itself, because we saw the scanner going on, but actually there's a bunch of other stuff going on Joe's gamepad right now. So we've got a map. What else is the gamepad used for as he totally is about to die? Oh no, it's not dead. Okay.
Joe's pretty good at this. The new gamepad really becomes your all-in-one survival kit. So everything you need to survive the zombie apocalypse is inside. You've got the scanner again, and it's a bug-out bag. That's what the survivalists call everything they're going to need for about the first 72 hours. And then you have to go out and start stocking up.
So it's used for like item management too. Oh, we actually right here. So what are we seeing here?
So he's got a lockpick function, and as you go through the game, you have all kinds of features like scan hacks, so you're going to be able to hack coded doors. One of the really cool features that comes later in the game is a black light, and that's going to reveal coded messages. And in fact, that's going to allow us an online utilization that friends will be able to leave messages for each other in the game, a little bit like Dark Souls or Demon Souls, if you guys have fans.
Okay, what was that? That there's like a creepy thing, like a shadow thing just ran across the screen. Was it? So are is this game only limited to zombies, or is there something else going on here too?
It's a psychological thriller as well.
I see. Okay.
So in this particular environment, you can see that play school over there, and that's Gillian Thompson. She's the nursery manager. We don't know exactly what happened to her, but we imagine that she died very horribly with a lot of kids.
Oh. It's grim.
And yes, it's very grim.
So you mentioned multiplayer. Can you give us just a broad overview? I know you guys are just more focused on kind of the core idea at the moment at E3, but in a broad sense, what are we thinking? What's the idea behind multiplayer?
Well, we've got, on the one hand, there's the asymmetric gameplay mode, which is more of an assault mode. This is the story campaign that Joe is showing us right now. But we also are making use of the Pro Controller, and you play in an adversarial mode where you get a top-down view, and you're sort of a zombie master, excuse me, who spawns zombies on a survivor who's in an FPS view. And unfortunately,
Joe, did you just die? That's
He's still with us. He's still with us.
You're supposed to be good at this game, man.
Yeah, he was. And
so you become a zombie master. That sounds kind of cool, though. Oh,
he actually just lost his gamepad function. He's no longer. He's naked.
Now, what caused that?
No more radar. No more smart map.
Or we did like when the roof fell in on him, or
there's something jamming his communications. We don't know what it is yet, but that's what we're about to find out.
That's creepy. Okay.
So you've been cut off from your prepper, who's your lifeline, and in the game when you're used to having at least one voice.
Yeah, because he's telling you where to go, and he's like, you need to go here, get this medicine, that sort of stuff, and now he's completely gone for the time being.
Absolutely, you're all on your own.
Wow.
So it's one of the scarier moments in the game.
We got a shotgun there, or no? We don't have a shotgun there. Can you talk a little bit about the weapons that are sort of in the game? Are we just looking at kind of zombies after you? Are we looking at kind of basic, survival horror classic weapons like shotguns, knives, that sort of stuff? Or do we get a little? Okay, there we go.
She got him.
You died.
That was the nursery manager. She just took him down. So that gives us an opportunity quickly to talk about one of the incredibly unique approaches to the game, which is you play one survivor and then you come back, and Joe's going to wake up in the safe house as another survivor, and he has lost any of the skills that he's built up. So you do start with a handgun and all of the traditional weapons that we're used to seeing. You're completely dominated. By the time you get to the end of the game, you should be much more dominant. But that's only if you can keep your survivor long enough to build up the skills.
So now, is there a way for me to get my stuff back when I die? Like, what happened to the guy that died?
The guy that died has become infected, and now he's just going to stand around and try and eat you alive when you go back and try and get your gear.
Okay.
So if you want your gear, you do have to go back and get him. But it's it's realistic to say that you will not inherit his skills. There's no reason for that, and there's no real inherent aptitude to surviving a zombie apocalypse. It's not because Lucy Cox or a student or a fireman is going to do any better. It's more about the player's specific skills and the will to live. So the more you invest in a character, the more skills he gets, and the more it hurts to lose his ass.
Gotcha. Now, when I die, everybody that all the zombies I killed, they're going to stay dead though, or am I going to have to deal with some of the guys over again? Like, is it like a traditional game over where like now I'm going back through everything all over again, or is it see the roof there is
persistence.
Still okay.
Persistence. This is one of the coolest aspects of the game, and of course it's vital to the concept that as a survivor, it almost feels like you're relaying each other. Mm-hmm. So you pick up where the last survivor, and you do benefit from the progress he's made.
Okay.
And we're trying to scare the pants off of people. So if you experience the same thing,
you're gonna die.
I know.
All right, he didn't die. All right. So one of the things I thought was interesting is that it started doing a timer, and when he died, it gave him a time. Is there some sort of leaderboard or something like that so that people can be like, oh man, I lasted 2 hours or whatnot?
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely, and that's part of the inherent challenge. The concept resides in the one question: how long will you survive? So on leaderboards, guys will be able to say, oh man, I lasted 20 minutes, which is actually pretty good in the game because there are no checkpoints and no game over, as we said. And some people last 4 seconds, and we're waiting to see just exactly. Oh man, Lucy, dude. So yeah, he only killed one infected there with Lucy. She was hurting.
So it'll track both not only the amount of time you've lasted, but the kills that you managed to make as well.
Definitely.
Great.
Definitely. there you get another rebirth. And here we are with Caleb, shopkeeper.
Okay. What if I keep dying? Do I run out of people? Like, am I just gonna?
You don't. You know,
spawn as a dog?
London is a huge city. There's
True,
probably
yeah.
95% of people have dead or been infected, but there's still a lot of survivors out there.
There's enough, even if you're not good at the game, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you do make it through the game, in next game we have a nightmare mode in which you get one player and have to try and make it through the entire game.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's truly hardcore. I remember trying to do that in Res Evil and with a knife.
That's not going to work so well. Now, in terms of the core game, before you get to Nightmare Mode, are there like multiple difficulty levels and that sort of thing? So if I want to get a pretty good challenge, or is it pretty tough already on its own?
No, there are not multiple levers. You take it as it is. It's hard. It's brutally challenging, but we think it's a really rewarding experience.
It looks like, I mean, Joe works on this game, and he's died twice already, so I'm a little concerned how well I'm going to do when I play this game, actually.
He's not going to be a happy pup when we get back to the stand.
So one of the things you guys brought up at the press conference, which I thought was kind of interesting, is the fact that this. Oh yeah, sure.
Just wanted to point out, so he again has to kill his former survivor and get his gear back. I'm sorry, Richard.
No. It's totally cool. Looting the dead bodies there. So I mean, one of the things you guys brought up at the press conference there I thought was interesting was this actually used to be Killer Freaks. And I think that probably surprised...
From outer space.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it went from aliens to zombies. Can you talk a little bit about that transition and why you guys ended up going for this turn? I mean, I remember Killer Freaks in the last year was kind of a little weird, crazy, kind of goofy, but kind of dark at the same time, like a real dark humor.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about why you guys kind of went this direction instead?
Yeah, absolutely. We were having a blast with Killer Freaks. The more we got into developing specifically for the game plan, the more we realized how absolutely ideal it is for a survival horror. The fact that you have to keep your eyes on 2 screens at once, it's incredibly scary, and we've seen people literally jump out of their skins playing the game, and it's a perfect fit. So you're not going to fight it. You know, when you're trying to design for new technology and a new gaming experience, you want to go with what is going to be best for that.
So fundamentally, you guys it's the same game. You guys just found a different thematic idea that fit better and a better story that fit what you were designing. Is that the basic idea?
Yeah, we capitalized on everything that we developed for Killer Freaks,
That's awesome. Also, I like the idea that I can beat zombies with a cricket bat. I mean, that's just kind of cool.
Isn't that cool? Changes from the traditional baseball bat.
Yeah,
exactly.
Baseball bat. Right? I'm used to baseball bats and axes and crowbars too.
Yeah.
And I got a cricket bat.
Yeah, and awesome. London really is, with all its grisly history and sort of bloody tales, a great backdrop for a zombie game.
And you guys aren't really holding back. I mean, this is pretty gruesome. There's a dude that hung himself, it looks like.
It's him. My kids will not be playing this game.
Now, so as you play through, like, we're talking more about the story of this whole thing. Do you get to learn what happened or why this happened or anything like that?
There's a rich backstory, and I really love games where you get to go through and puzzle the backstory together. So there are tons of collectibles to find, and the prepper has his own secrets. I really don't want to spoil it because it's something that I think that...
Oh, Joe. Oh, no. Oh, okay. He's got a shotgun, so he'd be okay.
Something that core players look for in games. You know, they say that when you spend a lot of time doing backstory and writing for games, that only 10% of gamers are actually going to go through that. But hardcore gamers will. And
so I think so.
It's a real pleasure to write for a game like that.
Especially zombie fans. Zombie fans get kind of like, they want to know what happened. They want to know what's going on. So one of the things that I find interesting is, you die, you respawn as a person, different person, different survivor, and you kind of even kill the other guy that just died. Do you ever end up teaming up with people, or Joe, you're dying? No?
Joe,
he's doing all right.
Yeah, Joe just used a various side. It's just like a shield. It's not a one-up, but it will give you one chance to get alive. And as you progress through the game, you can you'll be able to manufacture.
Oh,
dude, that's 3.
All right, so we've seen Joe die about 3 times now. I mean, the game's looking really, really cool. Now, this is exclusive to Wii U. When can gamers expect to play it?
It'll be out at launch.
Great, cool. Well, thanks so much for a look at ZombiU.
It's our pleasure. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome. Thanks so much, Gabrielle.
My pleasure.
And stay tuned to IGN.com for more in the future.